In the golden light of divine understanding, Archangel Gabriel steps forward with wings that shimmer like dawn, breaking over still waters. The energy shifts, and there is a gentle pause, a sacred space where truth can finally be spoken without judgment, without shame, without the need to hide behind the stories that have kept the heart prisoner. Gabriel's presence fills the space with the warmth of unconditional love, and in this moment, there is recognition. The soul knows why it has been drawn to this message. There is something stirring beneath the surface, something that has been whispering in the quiet moments between sleep and waking, between one thought and the next. Child of light, Gabriel's voice resonates through the ethers. You have been carrying a weight that was never meant to be yours to bear alone. You have been telling yourself stories about someone who occupies your thoughts, someone who seems to hold the key to your happiness, your peace, your very sense of wholeness. But I come to you now with a truth that will liberate your spirit from this gentle prison you have created. Feel this truth settling into your chest like a warm embrace. The obsession you believe you carry, this consuming focus on another's soul, it is not what it appears to be. It is not love in its purest form, though it may feel intense and all-consuming. It is not destiny calling, though it may seem like fate has orchestrated every encounter. It is something far more profound, far more sacred, and far more healing than you have allowed yourself to see. Gabriel's light grows brighter, illuminating the shadows where truth has been hiding. You are not obsessed with this person, beloved one. You are avoiding your own life. The words hang in the air like morning mist, gentle but undeniable. This person has become a beautiful distraction from the deeper work your soul is calling you to do. There is no judgment in this revelation, only infinite compassion. The angels understand how the human heart seeks to protect itself from the vulnerability of living fully. They see how the mind creates elaborate stories, how it weaves fantasies around people who represent safety, completion, or escape from the responsibility of creating genuine fulfillment. The person who occupies your thoughts, they have become a mirror, reflecting back to you everything you believe you lack. In their presence, real or imagined, you feel more alive, more hopeful, more connected to possibility. But Gabriel whispers gently, this aliveness you seek in them already exists within you. This hope you project onto them is your own divine light seeking expression. This connection you crave is the soul's remembrance of its own wholeness. Feel the truth of this settling deeper into your being. Notice how the body responds when it hears what it has always known, but feared to acknowledge. There is both relief and resistance, both recognition and the urge to retreat back into the familiar story. The angels see the 5 sacred wounds that create this pattern of avoidance. They witness how scarcity has taught you to believe that love, connection, and fulfillment are rare treasures that must be hoarded when found. They observe how you have projected entire worlds of possibility onto someone you may barely know, filling in the gaps with your own longing for magic and meaning. Gabriel's presence grows more tender as the deeper layers are revealed. You have been afraid, precious soul, afraid of the risk that comes with truly living, afraid of the vulnerability required to create authentic connection, afraid of the possibility that you might fail if you truly try. The avoidance has been a form of protection, keeping you safely suspended in the realm of possibility, without the terror of actual action. And perhaps most gently, Gabriel acknowledges the emptiness that has been driving this pattern. You have been seeking in another what can only be found through the sacred work of building a life that reflects your soul's deepest truth. The obsession has been a way of avoiding the beautiful responsibility of creating meaning, purpose, and joy from the inside out. There is also recognition of the guilt that may be present. guilt over ignoring the red flags, over choosing the fantasy over reality, over giving your precious life force to someone who could not meet you in the realm of genuine connection. Gabriel's light surrounds this guilt with forgiveness, dissolving it in the ocean of divine understanding. You have been exactly where you needed to be, learning exactly what you needed to learn. Gabriel's voice carries the authority of eternal wisdom. Every moment of obsession has been teaching you about the power of your own focus, the creativity of your own mind, the depth of your own capacity for devotion. Now it is time to redirect this beautiful energy toward the life that is waiting for you to live it. Feel the invitation in these words. Feel how the heart begins to open to a new possibility. Not the loss of someone you believed you needed, but the reclaiming of a life that has been waiting patiently for your full presence and participation. If your heart is feeling this message, comment, "I trust divine timing." Gabriel's light intensifies, and the space around you begins to shimmer with golden threads of understanding. The Archangel's presence grows more intimate, as if speaking directly to the part of your soul that has been waiting lifetimes to hear these words. Now we journey deeper, beloved one, into the sacred chambers of your heart where the real truth awaits. Gabriel's voice carries the melody of ancient wisdom, and you can feel something shifting within, a loosening of the tight grip you've held on a story that was never truly yours to begin with. The angels reveal the first layer of divine truth. What you have called obsession is actually your soul's magnificent creative power being misdirected. Feel this truth in your bones, Gabriel whispers. You are not weak for having this experience. You are not broken for creating such vivid inner worlds. You are a powerful creator, and you have been creating constantly. But you have been creating in the realm of imagination rather than reality. Notice how this lands differently than the shame you may have carried. The obsession has been evidence of your spiritual gifts, your ability to hold focus, to generate feeling, to weave entire universes of possibility with the threads of your consciousness. But these gifts, when directed towards someone who exists more in fantasy than in flesh, become a beautiful prison. Gabriel shows you the mirror of scarcity that has been reflecting back through this pattern. You have been believing that the love you seek, the connection you crave, the aliveness you feel, these are rare gifts that can only be found in one special person. The Archangel's light reveals how this belief system was born from wounds of abandonment, from times when love felt conditional, from moments when your worth seemed to depend on another's approval. But look deeper, precious soul. Feel how this scarcity has been protecting you from something that felt even more frightening. The vulnerability of truly being seen, the risk of authentic intimacy, the possibility of rejection after someone knows the full truth of who you are. It has been safer to obsess over someone who remains at a distance, Gabriel reveals, than to risk the sacred terror of being fully known and potentially not chosen. The angels invite you to pause here, to breathe with this recognition. How does it feel to consider that the obsession has been a way of experiencing the intensity of love without the full vulnerability of love? Notice what arises in your body. Is there relief, resistance, recognition? Gabriel continues to unveil the layers. You have been projecting onto this person everything you believe you cannot create for yourself. In your mind, they have become the key to your happiness, the answer to your loneliness, the solution to your sense of emptiness. But I come to show you that everything you have projected onto them is already alive within you, waiting to be acknowledged and nurtured. The Archangel reveals how you have been unconsciously avoiding the beautiful work of building a life that genuinely fulfills you. It has been easier to focus on winning someone's love than to do the sacred work of loving yourself so fully that you become magnetic to authentic connection. This is not said with judgment, but with the infinite compassion of one who sees the perfect wisdom in every choice the soul makes for its own protection and growth. Gabriel's light begins to illuminate the guilt that may be present. Guilt over ignoring the red flags, over choosing the fantasy over reality, over giving your precious life force to someone who could not meet you in the realm of genuine connection. You have been exactly where you needed to be, the Archangel reminds you, learning exactly what you needed to learn about the power of your own focus, the creativity of your own mind, the depth of your own capacity for devotion. But now comes the sacred invitation to redirect this magnificent energy. You have been practicing love, beloved one, practicing focus, practicing devotion, practicing the art of holding someone in your heart. These are holy skills. Now it is time to turn these skills toward the life that is waiting for you to live it. Feel the shift that begins to happen when you consider this possibility. What would it feel like to focus on yourself with the same intensity you have focused on another? What would it feel like to create fantasies about your own potential, to obsess over your own growth, to be consumed with curiosity about who you might become? Gabriel shows you the profound truth. The person you have been obsessing over has been serving as a representative of your own unlived life. They have been carrying the projection of your own potential for joy, for aliveness, for meaning. But these qualities do not belong to them. They belong to you, and they are waiting for you to claim them. The Archangel reveals how this pattern has been a form of spiritual bypass, a way of avoiding the responsibility and the risk that comes with creating genuine fulfillment. It has been safer to believe that your happiness depends on another's choices than to face the beautiful terror of being fully responsible for your own life. But Gabriel's presence grows more luminous as the deeper invitation is extended. You are being called back to yourself, precious soul. You are being called back to the life that has been waiting patiently for your full presence and participation. The obsession has been a detour, not a destination. It has been preparation, not the main event. Feel how this truth resonates in your chest, how it creates both excitement and perhaps some resistance. The familiar story has been comfortable, even if it has been painful. The unknown territory of living fully feels both thrilling and terrifying. The angels are preparing to show you how to come home to yourself. Gabriel promises how to build a life so beautiful, so aligned with your soul's truth, that obsession becomes impossible because you are too busy living to waste time fantasizing. If this part helped you breathe deeper, comment, "I remember who I am." If you're ready for the next revelation, are you ready for the deeper truth? The space around you begins to pulse with a deeper frequency as Gabriel's presence expands into something more profound, more transformative. The Archangel's wings fold around you like a cocoon of divine understanding, and you can feel something ancient and sacred stirring within, a remembrance that has been waiting beneath the surface of your consciousness. Now we enter the holy chamber of your soul's deepest truth. Gabriel's voice carries the weight of eternity, yet remains infinitely gentle. What I am about to reveal will shift something fundamental within you, beloved one. You have been ready for this moment longer than you know. The angels begin to unveil the soul contract that has been playing out through this pattern of obsession. Before you entered this earthly experience, your soul chose to learn about the power of focus, the nature of love, and the sacred art of coming home to yourself, this person who has occupied your thoughts. They are not your soulmate in the way you have imagined, but they are a sacred teacher, a mirror, a catalyst for your spiritual awakening. Feel this truth settling into your bones, like ancient wisdom returning home. The obsession has not been a mistake or a weakness. It has been a perfectly orchestrated spiritual lesson designed to teach you about the difference between love and attachment, between genuine connection and projected fantasy, between seeking completion in another and finding wholeness within yourself. Gabriel's light reveals the deeper layer. You have been unconsciously recreating childhood patterns of love. The kind of love that felt conditional, that required you to chase, to prove your worth, to earn what should have been freely given. The person you have been obsessing over has been unconsciously chosen because they mirror these early wounds, giving you the opportunity to heal them. Notice how this lands in your body. There may be both relief and resistance. Relief at understanding why this pattern has felt so familiar, so compelling, and resistance to releasing the story that has given your life such intense meaning, even if it has been painful. The obsession has been your soul's way of keeping you in the frequency of longing. Gabriel continues, because longing felt safer than having. In longing, you could remain in the realm of possibility without the risk of disappointment. In fantasy, you could control the narrative without the unpredictability of real relationship. The Archangel shows you how this pattern has been protecting you from something that felt even more terrifying: the responsibility of creating genuine fulfillment. It has been easier to believe that your happiness depends on another's choices than to face the beautiful terror of being fully responsible for your own joy, your own purpose, your own aliveness. Gabriel's presence grows more luminous as the deeper truth is revealed. You have been avoiding your life, not because you are weak, but because you are so powerful. Your soul knows the magnitude of what you are capable of creating, and this knowledge can feel overwhelming. The obsession has been a way of channeling this creative power into something that feels safer, more manageable, more contained. Feel the recognition of this truth awakening in your chest. You have been powerful all along, powerful enough to create elaborate inner worlds, powerful enough to sustain intense focus for months or years, powerful enough to generate profound feelings and maintain unwavering devotion. But this power has been directed toward a fantasy rather than reality, toward another person rather than your own life. The angels ask to pause here. If you're ready to hear the deeper truth, comment, "I am brave." The Archangel waits for your soul's readiness before continuing with the most transformative revelation. The person you have been obsessing over represents everything you have been afraid to become. They embody the qualities you have been afraid to claim: the confidence, the freedom, the aliveness, the magnetic presence that comes from living authentically. Gabriel's light intensifies as the mirror is held up to your soul. You have been in love with your own potential, projected onto another. You have been obsessing over your own unlived life, reflected in someone else's presence. The attraction you feel is actually your soul, recognizing its own possibilities and calling you back to yourself. This revelation ripples through your being like waves of golden light. The person has been a sacred mirror, showing you everything you are capable of becoming when you stop hiding behind the safety of obsession and step fully into your own power. The emptiness you have been trying to fill through this connection, Gabriel reveals, is not the absence of this person in your life. It is the absence of yourself in your own life. You have been a visitor in your own existence, an observer of your own story, waiting for someone else to give you permission to fully live. The Archangel shows you how the obsession has been a form of spiritual procrastination, a way of avoiding the sacred work of building a life that reflects your soul's deepest truth. Every moment spent fantasizing about this person has been a moment not spent creating, not spent growing, not spent becoming who you came here to be. But Gabriel's presence grows infinitely tender as the deeper compassion is revealed. You have been exactly where you needed to be, learning exactly what you needed to learn. The obsession has been teaching you about the power of your own focus, the depth of your own capacity for devotion, the creative force of your own consciousness. Now you are ready to redirect this magnificent energy toward the life that is waiting for you to live it. Feel the invitation in these words. Feel how the heart begins to open to a new possibility. Not the loss of someone you believed you needed, but the reclaiming of a life that has been waiting patiently for your full presence and participation. The healing begins, Gabriel whispers, when you understand that coming back to yourself is not settling for less. It is claiming everything you have been seeking in another. The love you crave, the connection you seek, the aliveness you feel in their presence. All of this is available to you when you turn your magnificent focus toward building a life that truly reflects your soul's desires. The Archangel prepares to show you the vision of what awaits when you make this sacred choice to come home to yourself. Shall we continue to the final revelation? The space around you transforms into something luminous and eternal. As Gabriel's presence reaches its fullest expression, the Archangel's wings now span the entire realm of possibility, and you can feel yourself being lifted into a vision of what awaits when you choose to come home to yourself completely. Beloved soul, Gabriel's voice now carries the authority of divine prophecy. Look into the sacred mirror of your future and see what the angels have been preparing for you. See who you become when you redirect all that magnificent obsessive energy toward the life that is waiting for you to live it. The vision begins to unfold, like a flower blooming in fast motion, each petal revealing another layer of your transformed existence. You see yourself 6 months from now, no longer checking their social media, no longer crafting imaginary conversations, no longer waiting for text messages that drain your energy. Instead, you see yourself fully present in your own life, creating with the same intensity you once used to fantasize. Gabriel shows you the version of yourself that emerges when you channel that obsessive focus toward building something real. See how you wake each morning with excitement for your own day, how you move through the world with the magnetic presence that comes from being fully alive in your own experience. This is not settling for less. This is claiming everything you have been seeking. The Archangel reveals how your creative energy, once scattered across endless thoughts of another, becomes concentrated into building a life that reflects your soul's deepest truth. You see yourself taking the risks you've been avoiding, pursuing the dreams you've been postponing, creating the connections you've been too distracted to notice. Watch how differently you move through the world. Gabriel whispers, when you are no longer seeking completion in another, but operating from your own wholeness. See how authentic love begins to flow toward you. Not the desperate, clinging energy of obsession, but the natural magnetism that comes from someone who is fully present in their own life. The vision expands to show you the profound shift in your relationships. You see how people respond differently to you when you're not energetically reaching for something outside yourself. There's a groundedness, a self-possession, a quiet confidence that draws others naturally into your orbit. But, more importantly, you see how you no longer need this external validation because you have learned to validate yourself. Gabriel reveals the deeper transformation. See how the person you once obsessed over begins to fade from your thoughts, not because you force them away, but because you have become so engaged with your own life that there is no space left for fantasy. This is not suppression. This is natural evolution. The Archangel shows you how the qualities you once projected onto them, the confidence, the freedom, the aliveness, have become your own lived experience. You no longer need to imagine what it would feel like to be fully alive, because you are living it. You no longer need to fantasize about being chosen, because you have chosen yourself so completely that others cannot help but see your worth. The vision reveals your daily life transformed. Mornings filled with purpose rather than anxiety. Evenings spent creating rather than scrolling. Weekends engaged in activities that feed your soul rather than depleting it through obsessive thoughts. You see yourself building genuine friendships, pursuing meaningful work, creating art that matters, contributing to causes that align with your values. This is the life your soul has been calling you toward. Gabriel's voice carries the weight of eternal truth. The obsession has been a detour, but every detour teaches something valuable. You have learned about the power of focus, the depth of devotion, the creative force of consciousness. Now you apply these gifts to the canvas of your own existence. The Archangel reveals how this transformation ripples outward, affecting not just your own life, but the lives of everyone around you. When you stop seeking completion in another and start living from wholeness, you give others permission to do the same. You become a living example of what it means to be fully present in your own life. Gabriel shows you the ultimate truth. The person you once obsessed over may eventually notice this change in you, but by then it will no longer matter. You will have become so aligned with your own path that you will recognize whether they truly belong in your life or were simply a catalyst for your awakening. The vision reaches its crescendo as you see yourself 1 year from now, completely transformed, fully alive, magnetizing authentic love and meaningful connections, not through seeking, but through being. You see how the emptiness that once drove the obsession has been filled not by another person, but by the fullness of your own engaged existence. This is your destiny, beloved one. Gabriel declares, with divine authority, not to win the love of someone who represents your unlived life, but to live that life so fully that love becomes inevitable. Not to complete yourself through another, but to become so whole that you naturally attract others who are equally whole. The Archangel's final blessing begins to flow like golden light through every cell of your being. May you remember that you are not obsessed. You are simply avoiding the beautiful responsibility of living fully. May you redirect your magnificent focus toward the life that is waiting for you. May you trust that as you come home to yourself, everything that truly belongs to you will find its way to you. Gabriel's presence begins to settle deeper into your heart, becoming a permanent source of guidance and strength. The angels will be with you as you take the first steps back toward yourself. Every moment you choose presence over fantasy, reality over projection, action over avoidance, we celebrate with you. The final vision shows you not just healed, but transformed into a beacon of what is possible. When someone chooses to live authentically, you see yourself helping others who are trapped in similar patterns, not through preaching, but through the quiet power of your own example. Go now, precious soul. Gabriel's voice carries the blessing of all the heavenly realms, and build a life so beautiful, so aligned with your truth, that obsession becomes impossible because you are too busy living to waste time fantasizing. The person you have been seeking in another is waiting for you to become them. If this brought peace to your soul, express your gratitude in the comments. Share this with someone whose spirit needs this light. Subscribe for more messages that speak directly to your soul's journey. The Archangel's final words echo through eternity. Remember, you are not broken for having this experience. You are powerful beyond measure, and you have been practicing love. Now it is time to love yourself with the same intensity, the same devotion, the same unwavering focus. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of your real life. Until the next message, may Archangel Gabriel continue to guide your path back to the magnificent life that is waiting for you to live it.